Okay, if you're new to AWS or still a little unsure on the basics of networking, this video is for you. We're going to go ahead. We're already in the portal. We're going to create some EC2 instances. We're going to SSH into them, and we'll create a public and private subnet and allow connectivity between the two of them. Okay, so to start us off, we're going to go ahead and hit create VPC, and we will do VPC only. If you look here, VPC and more will actually create some of the stuff we're going to do manually. So it'll create the subnet, the route tables, and then the network connections, but we want to learn this, so we're going to do it manually. So we're going to go ahead and create our VPC. I'm going to call it demo VPC, and then our CIDR block. I'm going to go ahead and make this 10.0.0. Let's do 0/16. So if you're not familiar with CIDR blocks, this is basically how many addresses we're going to have available. So each of these up to the zeros is an octet, it's called. So that means that there are 8 basically binary values. So there are 255 numbers in each of these ranges, and that's represented in binary as 8 ones or zeros. So what that means is this 16 is basically how many of those addresses do we have available. So in this case, we're saying that we're going to split this in half, which means our first two are not going to be changing. It will always start with 10.0. But our last two are now dynamic. So we have the space of 0 to 255 and 0 to 255. So these are all of the addresses. So that's like, I think 60,000 addresses if you do 255 times 255. But the other option, like let's say we wanted to do 20 here, that would limit this octet down to 0 to 127 because there's 128 numbers in there. Or let's say that we wanted to do 24. Now we're saying this 0 is actually going to be static. So it'll be 10.0.0 always, and then we only have 256 addresses from 0 to 255 here. So that's the quick breakdown of CIDR blocks if you're not familiar. The other thing, so it's basically exponential notation. So you can think about 24 gives 2 to the 8th number of addresses, which is 256. 23, add another 1 to the exponent, gives 512. 22 is 1024, and all the way down. So that's the best way to think about it. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to go ahead and make this 10.0.0.0, and then we'll do /16 to give us all of those addresses. That is a really big one. I'm going to delete it after this, so it's not a big deal. But that's what I'm going to go ahead and do here. So we'll create that. There's our VPC. Now let's go into subnets, and I'm going to create a public and a private subnet. So go in here, create a subnet, select your VPC, and we'll call this demo public subnet. I'm going to copy that for later. Our AZ, I'm going to do US East 1A. This doesn't matter for this really, but this is how you would set up like high availability across multiple AZs. And then you'll see our VPC CIDR, and now we're going to set our subnet CIDR, so that'll be 10.0.0.0, and I'll do 24 here, and then I'm going to change the other one to have a 1 at this section. So our public subnet here will have 10.0.0 and then 0 to 255 available, and you'll see our private will have 10.0.1, 0 to 255. So we'll go ahead and create subnet. And now let's go back, create our next subnet, and that will be our private. So I'll change this to private here. If I can spell, there we go. Go ahead and select another AZ here again, doesn't really matter for this. And then we will do 10.0.1.0/24. So now this will be 10.0.1.0 to 255 available, and create that subnet. So let's go ahead and refresh, get rid of that. So now we have 2 subnets here, demo public and demo private. Now I'm going to go into EC2, and I'm going to create an instance in each of them, and we'll show how to access that. So in EC2, I'm going to launch an instance. We'll call this private instance. And we'll just do Amazon Linux, free tier eligible, T2 micro. I'm going to create a new key pair for this. Go ahead and create that. Subnet demo, we'll call it. Go ahead and create that. And that'll be downloaded, and then we'll select our VPC here. So make sure that we're using our demo VPC for this case, and then our public subnet. We will auto assign a public IP because we want that in this case. And then we'll create a security group, and inside of the security group, we want SSH access over TCP from anywhere. So that looks good. And if you haven't, if you've wondered and you don't know what it meant, when you see 0.0.0/0, that, now that you know CIDRs, means all addresses. So it's basically saying any address in the entire world is allowed to access this because it's the entire range. There's no breakdown of what the options are. A better way to do this, I could go ahead and do my IP and then select my IP, but I'm not going to do it for this. Now we'll go ahead and launch our instance here, and then that's going to take a second. I'll go back and immediately launch another one. I just realized I named that private, and it's public. I put that in public, right? Yes, I did. Okay, sorry about that. I'm going to change his name quickly to be public. And now let's go create our private. So same thing, launch instance. Do I have this copied? Perfect. Private, same thing here. Go ahead and select our key pair. We will select our VPC. Select our private subnet this time. We're not going to assign a public IP because it doesn't have access to the internet. And same thing, we are going to allow SSH access. What you'll see is this won't actually work because there's no internet gateway, or there's not in either yet, but there won't be public access to the subnet here. So I'll show that connection. So we'll go ahead and launch that. And now that those are spinning up, I'm going to go back into my VPC and we're going to add the internet gateway. So the difference between a public and private subnet is just an internet gateway. You put an internet gateway inside of the subnet, and that allows traffic to come in and out of the network. So we're going to go into internet gateways, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new internet gateway, and we'll call it demo IG. And then we will create that. And now that it's created, we'll attach it to VPC. Go ahead and click our demo VPC. And then we will go ahead and be finished. So effectively, now we have a new internet gateway attached to our VPC, but the problem is our subnets don't have a way to route to it. So we have a route table here for our entire VPC. We're going to create route tables for private and public subnets. Private demo here. We'll select our VPC. Go ahead and create that. And then let's go back, create a route table, public VPC. It's probably not the best name, but that'll do for this. Create route table. And now inside of our public, we will go ahead and associate it to our public subnet, or we'll save that. And then our routes now, you'll see this is just for local traffic. Okay, so let's go ahead and SSH into our public instance first to show you that works. So we'll go ahead and press connect, and here is our SSH client. So go to my terminal, and you'll see I was doing this. I had it really small, so I just restarted. So here I have my PEM file already available. So I'm going to go ahead and do SSH with that PEM file. And you'll see this is connecting to the public address here, or the public IP. So we'll go ahead and SSH, and now we're in. So this is the public instance that we've just created, and we're now inside of it. So let's clear that. I will exit, and let's try and SSH into the private now. And as we'll expect, it won't work because there's no public IP and no internet gateway. So we'll copy this command out, go here, and what you'll see, it's just going to kind of sit here and hang, and then it'll time out eventually because there's no way to connect. But what we can do, and this is how like jump boxes or VPNs work now, because we have inside the same VPC the public and private subnet, I can't directly access that instance inside the private, but I can if I jump through my instance that's in the public. So let's cancel this command out. I'm going to go ahead and SSH back into my public instance. And now that I'm inside of here, I can SSH into my EC2 user. Now this should fail because I don't have my public key. So to copy it over, we're going to go ahead and do SCP, which is Secure Copy Protocol, -I, and then we'll give it our subnet demo.pem. So that's saying use this file as our certificate to authenticate to the server. Then I'm going to do subnet pem again because this is the source that I want to copy. And then the location I want to copy to is going to be EC2 user. Let me actually just copy this to make sure I don't mess it up. So we're going to copy it into the public instance. So if I bring in here, go to connect, it's going to be this last portion here. So EC2 user dash and then the IP. So we'll copy it there. and then I'm going to do a colon and say that I want this to go to the home directory /.ssh. Let's copy that over. And there we go. So now if I SSH back into that server, let's get the right one here. And then let's do ls:/.ssh. And there we go. You'll see my subnet demo there. So I'm just going to cd into that directory for now just to use that file. It didn't have to go there, but that's where I put it. And now that we're in here, I should be able to run my SSH command with that PEM file into the private instance. And there we go. So now we're inside the private instance and there's no way to connect to the internet. So that's going to wrap up this demo. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and subscribe and make sure you tear down your infrastructure. We made quite a bit of stuff here, and this is why I like Terraform. So watch some videos on Terraform if you're interested in that. But I'm going to go through and manually delete all this stuff. Make sure you do the same.